Hi, this is Josh, and this is a overview and review of Dementium The Ward for the Nintendo DS. First, I'm going to show you some different parts of the game, how to play the game, and more or less what the game's all about, and then give you a few of my ideas, my thoughts, my opinions on the game later on. As you can see right here, the first thing you do is create a game file. You have two spots to pick from, so if you want to have more than one game going on, you can. Or if you have a friend, or a sister, or a sibling, in general, who wants to play this game, they can also play. So just choose one and hit yes, which I'll eventually do here myself. You'll first notice that this game has, well, some really nice cutscenes and some pretty good graphics. Dementium really pushes the extremes of the DS and its graphics capabilities, which are often mocked by people who own PSPs or most next-gen people. But the game actually has some pretty good graphics, as you see here. Everything is rendered in engine and looks nice. The control styling is like GoldenEye for the DS. You use the touchpad to move your view and use the control pad to move your character. The L button fires, and you can also use the touchpad to choose different weapons on the bottom and interact with objects. And it's a fairly easy control scheme, but is rather difficult to videotape and play at the same time with my setup. Now the bottom screen, as you can see here, has my heart rate, which I think is a very annoying way of showing you health, your items, which of course I have none right now, and your weapons, which will be on the bottom. You actually have options now, before you didn't in the main menu. You can change your control type, your brightness, your heartbeat if the heartbeat annoys you as you constantly hear it throughout the entire game, and the music level. Some basic in-game controls for your gameplay. Moving around is very easy to do. As you can see, things are rather spooky in this game. It's going for the whole horror survival thing. If you overcome an object that you want to pick up, it's usually flashing, and the bottom you can click a pick up. You then get options and it tells you what you can do with the item. In this case, I picked up a notepad, and I'll see what it can do here. The notepad allows you to write notes and take notes. So in case you come across a number or something you want to write down for later, you can write on your notepad. It comes in handy. It's a very nice touchpad feature that's enjoyable to use and very helpful in the game. Most of the game will actually look like this. Long, dark hallways, lots of blood, lots of gore, and occasional flashing objects. There's a whole lot of backstory and mystery to this game. Who are you? What's going on? What horrible crimes were committed at this place? Your standard basic horror survival. And there's a number on the wall which I'm going to write down on the bottom screen, which is why it's now in this wonderful I want to be widescreen shot. And I'm writing down the number for later use. I was watching a video on YouTube, which had one of the game creators pimping this video a couple months ago, and he said he wanted to create a mix between Doom 3 and Silent Hill. So I'm actually going to use that as criteria for judging this game, because I've played through a couple Silent Hill games and played through Doom 3. So I actually kind of figure I hopefully know what he's talking about. Now I think he has a whole Silent Hill thing down. The mysteriousness, the blood, the gore, the disturbing atmosphere. He has that very nice horror feeling going on. It really does have a horror survival feeling to it, and it's disturbing. The first thing you pick up is the flashlight, which you use to see things, because a horror survival film wouldn't be scary unless things were dark, which this game is very, very, very dark. You can't see much of anything in this game because rooms are so dark, which is why you have a flashlight. And it illuminates things. I like the way the flashlight works. It looked really nice. I was kind of worried it'd be kind of cheesy, the effects would be bad, but things seem to work quite well. Now the bottom screen actually has the touchpad that comes up. I'm sorry I didn't take a video of it, but I'm touching in the code via the touchpad on the bottom screen. Again, another wonderful use of the DS's touchpad to make this game kind of interesting. And there the game's saved. It auto-saves a number of times as you move through the game. Now the first weapon you pick up is this nightstick, which is more or less useless, I find. It's a nightstick, you hit things with it. And you use the L button to actually hit things or use any weapon, which just has you swing it. And I'm just going to swing randomly at things. And the game now teases you with some shotguns on the wall. And here's a map you can pick up. As you can see, the map is Well, very helpful and shows you there's a lot of places you can go. Most rooms are locked to start out with, and the levels are rather large. There's quite a few levels to go through, and they are large. The game is quite big and will take quite a long time to get through. The first enemy I come across is this zombie-esque creature. Notice my flashlight does nothing against it. Go flashlight. I can hit it repeatedly before it tries to eat me. And there's the first taste of combat you get in this game. This shot here has been shown in many YouTube videos. It's a walkway, very dark, lightning, and lots of enemies pop up. I'm not going to fight them because they're annoying to kill. And once again, just saying, it looks pretty nice. Nintendo 64 graphics plus. And here we'll find a survivor who will give us a gun, because guns are actually useful in this game.
That's right, a little closer. Wait, you're not one of them? Oh man, we're gonna go.
Again, the gun works just like the nightstick. When you choose the gun, there's a crosshair. You use the L button to actually fire at things. It has a very slow rate of fire because it's the default projectile gun weapon. And here we go, me shooting things. While we're on the subject of shooting things, let's go back to the Doom 3 aspect of this game. It doesn't really have that FPS shooter feel to it. Battles are few and far between. It doesn't have much of a first-person shooter feel to it. It feels just fighting was kind of thrown in there just to break up the monotony and to kill you every now and then. It just doesn't have a very fast-paced, action-oriented feel to it. Occasional guys will pop out, but you can more or less predict when that's going to happen. Annoying feature is when you go through certain rooms multiple times, the same guys will always be there. I'm picking up health right there, little pill bottles. You can't hold much ammo, you have to constantly pick up new ammo. But there's a lot of it just lying around randomly in rooms. So that's not really a problem. Yeah, fighting just doesn't feel very great in this game. Maybe it improves later on, but I just didn't have the feel to go that far in the game. Here's an early puzzle for you to figure out. There's a little piano in the next room. You get this wonderful layout of the keys. And you're supposed to figure out what you're supposed to type in. Can you figure it out? Right there. Can you figure it out what it is supposed to be? Yeah, you're supposed to play the letters dead on the keypad, which is right down here. And I'm just going to randomly play some buttons, not actually work it out. But you get the gist. It's another wonderful use of the DS's touchpad, which this game likes to use a lot, which I give it props for doing. Innovative ways to use the touchpad. Way to go, guys. This game is pretty good. I'm not going to lie, I actually enjoy most of this game. I've been looking forward to it coming out ever since I played Touch the Dead, which was a horrible game. I was kind of hoping this would be what I always wanted Touch the Dead to be, a much better version of, say, Touch the Dead, a much better overall game. And it is a pretty much overall wonderful game. As you can see here, the graphics are nice. These in-game cutscenes look beautiful. The gameplay is pretty good. The controls are easy to use. But the way they're describing it, I was hoping for a bit more action-oriented feel to it. Action's few and far between. And the Doom 3 aspect they wanted to throw in this game, I think it's kind of limited to the whole using a flashlight or using your gun at the same time. They took that from Doom 3. Why do you take the worst thing from Doom 3? I really hate the fact you aren't smart enough to, say, use a flashlight with your left hand and a gun with your right hand. There'd be an easy way, or say the nightstick with your right hand, because you have two of them. I assume you have two of them. You're doing things two-handedly. But, oh well. The gameplay is good, as I said before, and I'm liking the atmosphere. It has a very nice Silent Hill, disturbing atmosphere, horror thing going on. And it works well. If you want the whole horror aspect DS game, this is what you want. Just don't expect it to be a FPS shooter. Action-oriented. Action is few and far between, as I said before, a couple times. And as you can actually see in this game, there's a lot of backstory that comes up. There's a lot of things that will kill you right out. I guess the most annoying thing for me, besides the flashlight, is the heartbeat monitor. which is a horrible way for me to gauge how much life I have left. It just doesn't seem very helpful, intuitive. I give it massive props, though, for the use of the DS touchpad. It has some very nice, very nice, innovative things it does with the touchpad. It makes the gameplay a lot more interesting and says, hey, we actually want to develop for the DS and use its unique features. But yeah, that's the game. I would say go for it. Buy it if you want a horror game for your DS with a little bit of shooting involved. I'm pretty sure later on in the game there's probably more shooting stuff involved. There's quite a few more weapons you can pick up. Had I played this game longer, there's shotguns just in this next part, which I can't beat because I kept getting killed and having to start at the beginning of the level over and over again, and just got frustrated and said, hey, screw it. I'll make this review and do my laundry tonight instead of playing this game over and over again. But hey, that's just me. I'd say pick up this game. If you've seen this video and like what you see, go buy it. It's a solid DS game. It's one of the better ones out this year. Just not exactly what they were hyping to begin with, and probably not what a lot of people were expecting, considering the whole, we want to make a Doom 3 / Silent Hill game. And honestly, come on, flashlight and gun, same time. Look, it's not that tough. Gun, flashlight. Oh well. At least it's scary, and these little worm things are disturbing. Very disturbing. So thanks for watching this review. I hope it was helpful in some way or another, and you'll learn something, like be afraid of gigantic maggoty worm things that fall from ceilings in abandoned mental institutions where you found yourself being attacked by zombies. That's something you should always keep in mind. Have a nice evening, and come back again sometime.